Hello to the YouTubes.
Hi.
So, we're a little bit behind.
It's been a minute. How are y'all?
We've watched a good amount, but didn't feel like doing the recording for the last 3 that we did because life is bullshit.
Well, 3.5. We did watch.
Partially half.
Yeah, we watched about half of the non-Eon film that Connery came back for, Never Say Never Again. But we turned it off.
It sucks.
It's bad. I think it's safe to say that the non-Eon films across the board are just bad, so you can skip those. We also watched the last of...
We finished Roger Moore and Timothy Dalton's 2, and now we're into Brosnan, which we watched 3 of those this week.
Yeah, we knocked a lot out. So we're gonna do a brief overview of the ones that we watched that we didn't do a recording for, and then we're gonna do a little bit more of a lengthy one for the Pierce Brosnan ones. So this will probably be a bit of a longer video,
but it's fine.
But yeah, we kind of have a lot to cover.
So starting off was the last one for Roger Moore, View to a Kill.
No, the one before that was fucking Sean Connery's last one.
Do we really want to cover that?
I'm briefly gonna say what the plot was, because we didn't actually get the whole plot, and then do the critic rating. And
it's basically a redo of Thunderball.
Yeah, actually. We could just summarize it like that. It's just non-Eon's take of Thunderball. They brought back pretty much a lot of the same characters. And not the same actors, but same characters.
The only same actor was Connery.
Yeah, and
even then played a horrible version of himself.
Yeah. The exact part that we ended up cutting it off of was because of Q.
Q betrayed us.
Q betrayed us. It was not the same actor that has been Q since
George
damn near
Llewellyn. Whatever. I think that's his name.
I think his name is Desmond.
Desmond Llewellyn? The last name was something interesting.
Yeah, Desmond Llewellyn.
Who we love, absolutely.
Yes, we love the proper Q.
Yeah, the Q from this horrible Thunderball adaptation made a comment about there being more sex and violence from Bond.
Yeah. And so that we just turned that off.
That was on top of us already stopping it 3 separate times.
To bitch about it because of just, I don't even remember why, but it was us complaining about stupid things.
Like we barely made it 45 minutes into it.
Yeah. The critic score was 71%. Somehow audience score was 37.
I definitely agree with the audience.
I'm gonna give it a 0 like we did like I did the last one I didn't finish, because I didn't finish it. It's bad. Sorry.
Like, I'm sure this one was probably better than the Casino Royale, but we just didn't want to deal with it.
I don't know. We will never know.
We will not know.
The world will never know.
The world is not enough.
Funny you should mention that.
That's one of the ones we watched, but that's a little ways down.
Yeah, we'll get to that later. So, moving on. A View to Kill, which is Roger Moore's last one. We finished several Bonds this past time.
We did. Which, Roger Moore with this one, again, was a case of his later movies were better.
They were. To backtrack slightly, the Connery movie came out in 1983. A View to Kill, which is Roger Moore's last one, came out in 1985. It is the same age as my sister. Bond investigates millionaire industrialist Max Zorin. Fun fact, he's played by...
Christopher Walken.
Yep. And he was very much, at least physically, he looked a lot like young Snow, which still trips me out. And
he also didn't have as...
lovely.
Grace Jones had a great part in that.
Oh yeah. But
Christopher Walken
And-
also didn't have as much of his, I
Christopher
guess,
Walken.
yeah, the stereotyped talk pattern that he has. That wasn't as
Mhm.
evident in this. Like you could
I don't
hear
know if that's
little
something that
bits
he-
of it, but I think it's a later thing with some, because he had some brain issues, if I remember correctly, right?
Oh, I have no idea.
Because there was something that caused that speech pattern to become more of a prominent thing.
I thought it was just something that he developed naturally because that's just him as a person. But
I could be
damn, I hope
wrong.
it's
I'm
not
probably
like-
going to get fact checked on that by anybody that watches this.
If anyone knows, by all means, sound off. We would love to learn.
Yes.
But Bond investigates millionaire industrialist Max Zorin, who is trying to corner the world market in microchips. He establishes that Zorin was previously trained and financed by the KGB, but has now gone rogue.
The KGB has been so prominent in all of Roger Moore's.
They have, which makes sense because Cold War.
Cold War lasted longer than we thought it did.
It did. Zorin unveils to a group of investors his plan to destroy Silicon Valley, which will give him a monopoly in the manufacturing of microchips.
This
Bond
is where we
uncovers Zorin's plan.
dubbed the term of Goldfinger plans. However, this one was better than Goldfinger's.
It was, because there were significantly less steps. Bond uncovers Zorin's plan is to detonate explosives beneath the lakes along the Hayward and San Andreas faults, which will cause them to flood. A larger bomb in the mine will destroy a geological lock that prevents the two faults from moving at the same time. Bond destroys the bomb and subsequently kills Zorin. So, spoilers, villain dies. Go figure.
As usual.
Yeah.
So Grace
This one was
Jones
fun.
is considered the henchman for Zorin, her character.
Yeah.
I forget what her character's name was, but she was great.
Her character's name. Also, if they aren't a her, I'm sorry. Mayday.
Mayday, that's right.
Yeah. But Grace Jones was absolutely one of the better henchmen.
This one had a very
hench people.
strong cast, honestly.
It did, because in addition to all of them, of course we get Desmond Llewellyn back and a few other big names. I want to say they brought back some previous Bond people too, but just like repurposed them.
It's possible on that one. I don't fully remember. But this was a good one. Grace Jones, her character Mayday, is she believes that Christopher Walken's character is in love with her. He's actually crazy as hell, doesn't care about anybody but himself.
Yeah.
And is shown at the end whenever Bond is destroying the bomb. She goes out in a literal blaze of glory.
Oh, it was beautiful. He betrays her, and she realizes, oh, he's never actually loved me.
Then she
So she
rides
takes
the
the
bomb out
bomb.
because the cart has to have somebody holding onto it, or else it breaks because the
Yep.
brake is broken on it. So she rides that bitch out into the open, stares up at the Walken's character in the helicopter, and blows up, staring at him like in
the
pure
only way it
defiance.
could've been better- the only way it could have been better to me is if they flipped him off while doing it. I'm gonna go with they because I don't know their pronouns, but yeah, the only way it would have been better to me is if they just like flipped him off as they were blowing up.
She technically counts as a secondary Bond girl for this one, but she's not like one of the. I think they had the sex stuff as a weird thing of like, well, you said you were going to keep me distracted all night, and
I don't think they actually did it.
I don't know on
'Cause
that one.
I want to say this was still while they were fading to black. I
It
don't think
was a
they
fade to
actually-
black. They showed them in bed, like she climbed into bed, and then it kind of faded off.
Yeah, I don't know if they actually did it.
But
Or not.
again, in this case, Roger Moore was like in his late 60s for this.
Yeah. So I think he was probably, definitely trying to avoid a lot of that.
Let's be honest, I don't even
Which,
remember what part the actual main Bond girl really played, Stacey Sutton. She was a conservationalist. I remember that was trying to,
um,
like, her father
her,
had been
it was her
killed.
grandfather.
It was her grandfather.
Yeah, Tanya
And
Roberts, Stacey Sutton, the
yeah,
granddaughter of Will Tycoon, whose company is taken over by Zoran.
that's right. And Zoran was trying to buy out her shares in the company, and she refused to. And then he tried to get her killed to make ends meet, and ended up blowing up a federal building or lighting it on fire, trying to kill them. Yeah,
Which, tracks.
but the as we had said before, we have termed the Goldfinger plans because Roger Moore had a couple of those with his. Because we had the one where the space colony to repopulate the Earth after killing off everybody. That was a Goldfinger plan. This one sort of was, but this one had it actually gone through, would have had much bigger repercussions than the others would have. Well, granted, the killing off everybody would have been, everybody dead had that worked, but
Yeah.
it had so many
Two,
steps that were able to be foiled there. This one,
yeah.
had it not been
This
for
one
the case
had
of, betrayal, probably would have won.
probably would have happened and would have actually been devastating.
Because getting rid of Silicon Valley would set everything back.
Oh yeah, like, not to mention the insurmountable amount of lives lost. Just, it would fuck up the economy badly, especially in California.
Yeah.
So it would be a lot worse repercussions than the Goldfinger plan, which would have just been to irradiate the gold.
Which would have lost its radiation within 2 years.
Yeah, like, the half-life of irradiated gold is not near as long as they thought it was.
Because he said something like 84 years in the movie, and then we looked it up, and it was like 18 months.
Yeah. See episode 1 for more.
Overall, this one was a solid. It's one that we would put on and rewatch probably.
Oh, absolutely. Which honestly surprises me because this one is the lowest rating Bond movie
Of all,
out of all of them. But as we have seen,
we don't agree with the critics that
several
often.
we have seen several times that we will usually disagree a lot of times with the score. To keep Heart put on Goldfinger, that is the highest rated Bond movie. We hated it.
Yeah, I rated it like a 30% on Goldfinger, and it's the highest rated at 99%
Yeah.
with Rotten Tomatoes.
And I still guarantee that's just because of Pussy Galore.
Most likely.
Just because of the name.
But this one was rated a 36 by the critics.
Yep. Critic score is 36. The audience score isn't much better. It's at 40.
I'm
Honestly,
solidly an 80% on this one.
Easily. I would rate this somewhere in the 80s, probably 80 to 85%. It's one that I would watch again.
Which has been the case for all the last 3 of Roger Moore's. They were all good because they got away from a lot of the sex bullshit. Because, Roger Moore said this is creepy.
Yeah. Once he started kind of either having them age up the Bond girls or being less horny with it, they've been a lot better, at least in my opinion. I will say this, and I feel bad, a lot of the Bond girls still aren't super memorable to me yet.
No, considering in this one, the non-Bond girl was more memorable than the actual Bond girl.
Well, that's because
Grace Jones.
Mayday and Grace Jones is fucking fantastic.
Yes. And to continue the pattern of bad Bond girls, Timothy Dalton.
And on that note...
Yeah. So, we watched both the Timothy Dalton movies back to back. I will fully admit, I fell asleep during the second one.
Timothy Dalton movies aren't terrible, but they are definitely stereotypical 80s action movies, which isn't a bad thing. It's just not necessarily our thing. The Living Daylights came out in 1987. It's Timothy Dalton's first of two movies. Bond, now played by Timothy Dalton, aids the defection of KGB Officer General Gregory Koskov. I'm going to be mispronouncing these names.
I don't know well enough on that. I was not fully paying attention.
You're good. Aided the defection by wounding a female KGB sniper, Kara Milyov, a cellist. Okay,
The Bond girl.
Kind of, yeah. During his debriefing,
the cello was
Koskov
more important.
The cello was more important. It's Stradivarius, man. Koskov alleges that the KGB's old policy of Smirit Simponem. That's not how you pronounce that.
Probably
meaning
not.
Death to spies. I'm not Russian, y'all. I'm sorry. Meaning death to spies has been revived by General Leonid Pushkin, its new head. Koskov is subsequently abducted from the safe house, and Bond is ordered to kill Pushkin. Bond tracks down Malavi and establishes that she is Koskov's girlfriend and that the defection was staged. He subsequently finds out that Koskov is a friend of the arms dealer Brad Whitaker. After meeting Pushkin and faking his assassination, Bond investigates a scheme by Koskov and Whitaker to embezzle KGB funds and use them to purchase diamonds, which they then use to purchase drugs. After Koskov,
it's a weird ass fucking thing, and I don't think we actually realized that was what was going on.
I had to look up what the plot was because I didn't know what the fuck they were doing until they got to the point where, oh yeah, the diamonds are hidden in the ice around the heart that wasn't a human heart. And then they somehow got to opium. I don't know. After Koskov purchases the drugs, Bond destroys them. Koskov is subsequently arrested by Pushkin while Bond kills Whitaker. I do kind of remember this one. There was a whole thing. He blew up the plane or something, or he blew up the drugs that
they
were
had
in
a
the
giant
plane.
fight on the drug cargo net that had slipped out the back of the plane. It was weird.
It was, and I'm going to say, for at least for Timothy Dalton's movies, the Bond girls serve no purpose to the plot. And you could probably make the same argument with a lot of the Bond girls.
But these two seem
really
to be just
serving.
there for no purpose, whereas a lot of the other ones at least had like some kind of vendetta against the villain, or had been with the villain to start with, and
or in the wrong place at the wrong time kind of thing.
The only thing that this one had was she was the girlfriend of the guy that was supposed to be the defector that was actually the villain.
Again, I was more emotionally invested in her fucking Stradivarius cello, which
got a bullet hole in it and still managed to play it without any kind of distortions at the end. I don't know how that works.
Magical plot penis. When in doubt. This one...
They're not horrible. They're not horrible.
It wasn't... Yeah, it wasn't horrible. It's not one that I would probably rewatch.
It'd be background noise if it came on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'd say like a 70-ish in my opinion. What did the critics have for this?
I'm looking it up now. Okay, for Living Daylights, the critic score was about 70%. It was 73%.
Oh, we actually somewhat agree.
Right? 73% for critics and 66% for audience, which is about where I would rate it to, somewhere in that range, because it's not bad. It's just one of those
generic action movie.
Yeah. Like, if that's your thing, then absolutely go for it. There's a lot of explosions. There's a lot of explosions, a lot of action.
Like, this is one of the most action-heavy ones, for sure.
These two definitely were, which is why I feel like Timothy Dalton was just like a stereotypical 80s action movie for Bond. Which, again, isn't bad, just not our thing. Moving on again. License to Kill. This one came out in 1989.
This one was a stereotypical revenge plot.
really was. Bond aids Felix Leiter in the capture of drug lord Franz Sanchez, who escapes and maims Leiter, killing Leiter's wife. All of that happened on his
Yeah,
wedding
no.
day, by the
On
way.
his wedding day, they
Like,
were
they
headed
instantly-
to the wedding, and he gets a call, or one of the DEA agents lands in the helicopter in front of their fucking car, says, "We found where he
"We have
is."
to do this now." Like, bro, I'm about to get married.
On
Candace,
the
wait,
way
no,
to
it
his
is now.
wedding.
He ended up being late to his own fucking wedding. I will say this: his entrance was phenomenal because they parachuted in.
Parachuted in, he
With-
landed in front of his wife, and they kissed right there in front of the chapel.
So they lived happily for 5 minutes because
Because apparently the life
Sanchez escaped-
expectancy of the wife of a secret agent is 30 minutes.
yeah, you get to leave the venue and that's about it. Sanchez
As experienced with
escapes,
George
maims
Lazenby.
Leiter, kills the wife. For George Lazenby.
Yeah.
Bond swears revenge, but is ordered to return to duty by M. Bond refuses. M revokes his license to kill. Roll credits, causing Bond to become a rogue agent. Although officially stripped of his status, Bond is unofficially given help by Q. We love Q. Bond journeys to Sanchez's home in the Republic of Isthmus, and is taken on to Sanchez's staff. And is taken on to Sanchez's staff, where he manages to raise Sanchez's suspicions against a number of his employees. When Bond is taken to Sanchez's main base and drug refinery, he is recognized by one of Sanchez's men and is captured.
I think I had fallen
He
asleep at
escapes,
that point.
destroying the refinery. Probably. He escapes, destroying the refinery in the process, and pursues Sanchez, killing him. I mean, this one was fun because it had a young Benicio del... I'm gonna mispronounce this first name and I feel bad about it. Benicio del Toro. See? Told you I was gonna fuck up his name. Like a very young Benicio del Toro. But this one, again, was just kind of like a,
Classic 80s action.
yeah, fairly by the books, not a bad thing.
It was a very
Um,
well done revenge plot.
It was. It would probably honestly be okay with putting it on as background noise again.
It'd be another one of those like
And
the 70 to 75%, I feel like.
Yeah, and honestly that's about what it was rated. Critics gave it 79, audience gave it 62, and
That's the biggest difference I
feeling-
think I've seen.
I don't think it's the biggest difference. I think we've seen a couple of them like that. I'll have to go back and look.
That's
but
a 17
I
point
would
difference.
I would probably put it at about 70, one that could be put on as background noise. And this is coming from someone who unironically, one of their favorite movies is True Lies, just because of it being a goofy action movie. It would be good background noise. And speaking of True Lies, the villain from that was in the first Timothy Dalton movie. It's all connected.
It's all one giant circle.
All these squares make a circle.
And then after that, we get into my favorite eras for Bonds.
We have
Brosnan.
officially, we have officially entered the 90s and the Brosnan era, starting with GoldenEye. Came out in 1995, same age as Strix. In 1986, Bond, played by Pierce Brosnan, and Alec Trevelyan, sure, Agent,
Trevelyan, I think is how it was pronounced.
I don't remember, Boromir.
It's whatever.
Um,
His name is Alec.
His name is Alec. Agent 006 infiltrated an illicit Soviet chemical weapons facility and plant explosive charges. Alec is shot, but Bond escapes from the facility as it explodes. 9 years later, Bond witnesses the theft by criminal organization Janus? Sure. Of a prototype
Giannis.
Eurocopter Tiger helicopter that can withstand an electromagnetic pulse.
That's
You
important.
said Giannis?
Yeah, it's.
It is.
I think
important.
it's named after one of the Greek or Roman gods. It was a god of chaos.
I think that would be Roman.
Because he was the
have enough
time
Project
god.
Chaos involved.
He was the time god, I think.
Okay. I still think it might be Roman, but Giannis uses the helicopter to steal the control disk for the dual GoldenEye satellite weapons, using the GoldenEye to destroy the complex with an electromagnetic pulse. There are 2 survivors of the attack, programmers Natalia Simonova and Boris. I'm not going to try that.
Don't try the last name.
Bond.
Boris
Nope.
is Boris is fun.
Boris is Boris. Bond investigates the attack and travels to Russia, where he locates Simonova and learns that Alec, who had faked his own death, was the head of Giannis. Simonova tracks computer traffic to Cuba, and she and Bond travels there to locate Alec, who reveals his plan to steal money back from the Bank of England before erasing all of the financial records with GoldenEye, concealing the theft, destroying Britain's economy. Bond and Simonova destroy the satellite facility, killing Alec and Boris in the process. Okay,
Honestly,
so
one of the better Bond girls. She had a very big part in this.
I'm not gonna lie, at least so far, Pierce Brosnan Bond girls have been really good and really memorable, because Simonova, I forgot that this is the one with fucking Onatapa.
On a
Or
top.
Onatapa. Yeah.
She always did enjoy a
but-
good squeeze.
For someone who hates puns. Anyway. But Simonova was, like, we've definitely entered in an era where the Bond girls are a lot more competent and capable and actually do stuff. They help Bonds. They prevent bad things from happening. They foil evil plans.
Yep. All 4 of his are that way.
And I fucking love it. But I will also say, this cast was stacked. You heard
A
me say
lot of the
Boromir
Brosnan
earlier.
ones are stacked.
I believe it. You heard me say Boromir earlier because Alec is played by Sean Bean. That's probably not news to anybody. But Onatapa is played by... I'm not going to try and mispronounce this woman's last name, but Famke, who was Jean Grey in the original X-Men trilogy. And then you have Joe Don Baker come back for some reason as Jack Wade.
Yeah, the villain from the first Timothy Dalton movie is back in this one as an ally for Bond. But
Yeah,
not the same
Robbie
character.
Robbie Coltrane makes an appearance in this one and another one of Brosnan's, which is weird to see him clean shaven.
Yeah,
But
Haggard.
fucking Alan Cumming is Boris. And possibly the best ever, Dame Judi Dench is M now.
Yep,
We have
Judi
entered-
Dench is the M, starting with Brosnan up through most of Craig.
It
And
is great. And do we love
she
it?
is so much more of an active M than the other ones have been, because she'll actually go out into the field.
And I love that. And a small, fun little aside. I don't know if it was this one or if it was one of the next ones, but one of the movies that we have with Judi Dench, one of her fellow actors from As Time Goes By is also in it. It's Jeffrey something. I can't remember his last name. But he's the stuffy general that wants to shoot and kill everybody.
That's in number 2. So
Is it number 2? Okay.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
But honestly, I could definitely see me rewatching the Brosnan ones, which I feel like was a thing I expected
A couple
anyway.
years ago, we had watched Tomorrow Never Dies as a birthday thing for me,
Mhm.
because we did that one and No Time to Die at the same time, because I hadn't seen No Time to Die yet. And you guys enjoyed it whenever we watched those. So
We did. And it was probably slightly because they were more modern Bond movies.
that does
But-
help, because they were more around
does.
our time of being alive.
That ends, as we said, a lot of the characters play a more active role.
Like these
Like-
are action heavy ones, but they're not like just action. We have the suspense. We have like the stealth stuff that goes on.
And it's a nice change. I will say
They
On
do
the
like their
side-
one-liners.
they do like their one-liners a lot. But I miss the days when they would fade to black whenever Bond was about to bang a woman. because
There was a little bit of Onatop was horny.
Onatop was very horny. Oh my!
She
Very
even
fuck.
moaned when killing people. So
I got very excited. Very excited. I think she arrived a few times. She's vocal. I'll give her that.
very very vocal. Like
Good
one of
for her.
those like don't have this playing through speakers if you are in an area with other people.
Yeah, it was very interesting, and I'm kind of glad that no one else in the call could hear it at the time. But
Ratings for this one. For some reason, I remember the Brosnan ones were actually rated lower for some reason.
this one isn't rated super low. Critics gave it 80, audience gave it 83, and I probably
I blame that
do-
to Onatop.
Yeah,
But I'd solidly give this one about an
Definitely.
85 or so. 85, maybe a little bit higher.
same. This is definitely one that I would rewatch, which
Minus
again,
the
isn't a
moaning.
surprise. I'd just mute whenever she comes on. A lot of these I would.
Oh, she
probably want
comes a
to
lot.
rewatch again anyway. She does.
Bad joke is bad.
You should feel shame.
I
A
do
lot of
feel
these I'll
ashamed.
probably end up rewatching anyway because the copies that we got are kind of shitty. I need to see about getting better copies.
There
for
was
this
a
week.
case in what was it? The World Is Not Enough where it dropped like severe quality halfway through.
Yeah, it was either that one or Tomorrow Never Dies. I can't remember, but I think it was The World Is Not Enough because there was like 20 pixels just battling it out at one point with the sub.
But yeah, so
But,
85-ish for this one.
Definitely worth a rewatch.
Absolutely. As I say, as I've rewatched these things like 10 times.
Oh no,
It's almost like they're one of my
Uh,
favorites.
this is fine. I don't blame you.
Tomorrow Never Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies. It came out in 1997, same age as my cousin.
Also, still
Bond
a very
investigate-
stacked cast.
It honestly, yeah. Bond investigates the sinking of a British warship in Chinese waters, the theft of one of the ship's cruise missiles, and the shooting down of a Chinese fighter plane, and the shooting down of a Chinese fighter plane. He uncovers a link to media mogul Elliot Carver, which suggests that Carver had purchased a GPS encoder on the black market. Bond encounters Chinese agent Hua Lin, who is also
Wei Lin.
investigating the matter. Wei Lin? Whoops.
Yeah.
Who is also investigating the matter, and the two agree to work together. Tentatively. She did not seem
Begrudgingly.
happy. Begrudgingly. They discovered that Carver had used the GPS encoder to push the British ship off course and into Chinese waters to incite a war for ratings. With the British fleet on their way to China, Bond and Wayland, you said
Wayland.
Wayland find Carver's stealth ship, board it, and prevent the firing of a British cruise missile at Beijing. They blow a hole in the ship, exposing it to radar, leading to its sinking and thus averting war between Britain and China.
So this
And, like-
doesn't give us the start of the movie either as part of the plot there, which actually is decently important. Because
Yeah,
the opener of this is Bond is at a, I don't remember if it's Russian or anything, air base, and they're
Arms Bazaar, yep, Russian border.
yeah. So the general that we mentioned, what was his name?
His name is,
Admiral Roebuck.
yep, Rear Admiral Roebuck.
He
Played by
decides
Jeffrey
that
Palmer.
because, oh, it's just a drug deal kind of thing, we're just going to fire missiles and destroy it all. And then it's revealed that one of the planes there has nuclear weapons on it. And Bond has to hijack that and get it the fuck away. But in that opening scene, we see where Gupta, the scientist guy, is getting that encoder thing. Because that was in the very
Mhm.
opening scene.
Oh, and something else that I forgot to mention in the last one, the current era Moneypenny is great. I love her.
She
Samantha
does
Bond.
not flirt anywhere near as much with Bond, more as she antagonizes him.
Which we love. Um, but again, this is just a stacked fucking cast. We mentioned that Judi Dench is this era's M. Um, Jeffrey Palmer also makes an appearance for this one, but fucking Jonathan Price is Elliot Carver, which a lot of people will recognize from Pirates of the Caribbean movies. And then you have fucking oh gosh, Michelle Yeoh,
Michelle Yeoh,
which
who is the Bond
Michelle
girl of
Yeoh.
this one, and she's badass, as always.
Oh yeah,
They also have her
she
doing all this in mostly heels.
which nitpicky. That's so nitpicky of me, but some of the running and shit that she was doing, most women would not be doing in heels. I'm not gonna say it's impossible to do in heels because a lot of people, a lot of people can do way more in heels than I can, considering I'd fall and break my neck in them. But it to me it would be unrealistic for a secret agent of any capacity to wear 4 to 5 inch stiletto heels in the field. I don't see it happening. That being said, whoever did the stunts in those, phenomenal.
Yeah. Also, with these movies, there weren't any chase scenes that we skipped. We skipped a lot of chase scenes in previous Bonds.
In early Roger Moore movies, we skipped a lot of his chase scenes because they seemed like they were drawn out and just like
Not really relevant to plot stuff.
unnecessary. Yeah, but with these, I want to say they had several chase scenes in them, but they weren't they didn't seem like they were lengthy to the point where we would need to skip them. They were just like, oh yeah,
And
this
this
is
one had one
interesting.
of the best ones with the helicopter in it,
Fucking
where they're riding through
the
the city on a motorbike. They're both handcuffed together, so they're having to switch places to try and steer the thing and balance it. And then at the end, whenever the helicopter kind of corners them, they grab a clothesline, slide towards the helicopter underneath its blades, and jam up the rear rotor propeller and make the thing crash and blow up.
which I'm pretty sure they used that bit for like the movie promotions, the part with him on the bike.
I think they did,
The part with them on.
because it's actually the movie poster shows that with them on the bike sliding.
Yeah, which goes to show just how good that scene was.
Which it was so good. Because you also have them
It
going
was.
through different houses, riding on rooftops and things like that, all on this bike while handcuffed together.
Yep, trying to navigate, which again, folks with long hair always keep extra hair ties with you because you never know when you're going to be handcuffed to someone and have to navigate a motorbike through very busy.
But no, this one had some of the better action, in my opinion. But Michelle Yeoh helps a lot with those.
Absolutely. Like, she's definitely one of the better Bond girls that we've had so far. And it's great because, again, these are definitely starting to become more memorable as we continue with Pierce Brosnan's Bond character. I just pulled up the ratings and damn kitty, you right.
Yeah, no, they rated these things horribly.
Which is stupid. Okay. Critic rating for this one is 58%. Audience is 53. Both of them are dumb. This is easily as good as the last one. I would say 80, 85.
Yeah.
In fact, we have proved that this one is worth watching again because this is the second time I've seen this one.
This is one of the only ones you've actually seen before.
Exactly. This one and one of
This,
Daniel
I
Craig.
would say this one actually almost probably had a 90.
That's fair. Again, this is a good one. Like, this is a good era, I feel like.
Mm-hmm. And the next one, while in my opinion is the least of his, is still a good one.
See, this one wasn't terrible.
I didn't say it was
The World Is
terrible.
Not
I just
Enough.
think it's his weakest one.
That's fair. The World Is Not Enough. It came out in 1999. Bond recovers money for Sir Robert King, a British oil tycoon and friend of M, but the money is booby-trapped and kills King shortly afterward. Bond traces the money to Renard,
Played by Robert
again,
Carlyle.
Again, a KGB agent turned terrorist who had previously kidnapped King's daughter, Electra. MI6 believes that Renard is targeting Electra King a second time, and Bond is assigned to protect her. The pair are subsequently attacked. Bond visits Valentin Zukovsky.
Yep.
Which is Robbie Coltrane's character. So this is the second movie he comes back in. Is informed
Hagrid.
that Electra's
Rest in peace.
informed that Electra's head of security, Davidoff.
Davidoff.
That's gonna be a vocal stem. Fuck.
Davidoff.
Davidoff is in league with Renard. Bond kills Davidoff and follows the trail to a Russian ICBM base in Kazakhstan. Posing as a Russian nuclear scientist, Bond meets American nuclear physicist Christmas Jones.
Dr. Christmas Jones.
Dr. Christmas Jones. The two witness Renard stealing the GPS locator card and half a quantity of weapons-grade plutonium from a bomb and set off an explosion, from which Bond and Jones escape. Electra kidnaps in after she thinks Bond has been killed, and Bond establishes that Electra
Yes,
intends
plot twist. Electra's actually a villain, even though she's a villain.
Explosion Go figure. Her name is Electra, and she has the Electra complex.
I made that comment last night.
Yeah, they did. Bond establishes that Electra intends to create a nuclear explosion in a submarine in Istanbul to increase the value of her own oil pipeline. Bond frees him, kills Electra, and disarms the bomb on the submarine, where he kills Renard.
Which, by the way,
So
Renard had a previous accident with MI6 where a bullet was put into his head, but he didn't die from it. But it's slowly traveling through his brain, killing off all of his senses and making him stronger up until the point that he dies.
Is that what the fuck was going on with him?
Yeah, that's why he couldn't feel anything, was because all of his nerves had been basically killed because of the bullet that went into his brain.
I was wondering why he kept saying, "You can't kill me, I'm already dead."
That's the whole thing of the line where, what's the point of living if you can't feel alive?
Which, speaking of Renard, he's played by Robert Carlyle, so if anyone likes Once Upon a Time, get you some Rumpelstiltskin in.
Again, another pretty stacked cast here.
Oh, absolutely. A special mention. This is the actor that played the actor that played Q, Desmond Llewellyn.
This is his last one.
Yes, because he died the same year. So R.I.P. to Q as well as
Which his last line for him in this one is great. If you've learned anything from me, I've taught you two things. Never let them know your next move, and always have a way out. And then he just lowers himself down on a platform in the middle of his workshop, and we never see him again.
I don't know if it's intended to be like he was supposed to be retiring in real life, or if they knew that he might be passing away. But the character Q was retiring, and I guess his quote-unquote replacement R was coming in, and fucking
John Cleese plays R.
John Cleese. R is John Cleese, and all of his goofy John Cleese-ness, which is great. I will say this. I feel dumb that it took me as long as it did to realize that Electra was a villain, given that her name was Electra and her father died.
But they don't make you picture it until later on, because it's the whole case of Bond's like, I've seen what happened to her previously. She's a grieving woman. She needs protection, things like that. And even at the end, after he's killed her, we have a small moment of him just over the body. Doesn't show tears, but you can tell he's grieving.
I feel like he grieved more for what's his name's wife, Carver Paris.
He-
Which, oh yeah, the villain
In the previous one,
from-
the villain,
yeah, he bangs the wife before they get married, like years before
they
get
knew each
married.
other before meeting again in this, and the little innuendo of apply as much pressure as needed is said in that to get information. Yes.
But then he wants to get all jealous that she had previous
I
relationship.
don't think
with
it
this
was a
man.
jealous thing. Because he told
I don't
her
know.
he told her when she came to his room that night to go away. There's nothing that you can do. He tried to keep her from being involved in this.
Oh, I'm talking about Carver, not Bonds.
Oh. Yeah, no, Carver decided to be a bitch.
Shocking.
But no, Back to the World is not enough. Denise Richards is the one that plays Christmas Jones. And she does a
Which
really fucking
was-
good job.
She does. Like, and going back to, again,
All
more
the Bond
competent-
girls are fucking competent in this. Like, she literally has
They
the
are.
title of doctor. She is a trained nuclear physicist. She has a full PhD in that shit. And she defuses bombs on the regular.
Yeah, she's the one that defused the bomb that they were after. Like, she saved his ass, which is a nice little change.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they gave her sneakers and pants, thankfully.
Yeah, she
And
actually
a
had...
white shirt that wasn't see-through.
Yeah, because she got soaking wet and we didn't see tits. So...
Nice. And rare. Like, just small little nitpicky things. This is the shit that I care about.
I'm looking at the
honestly,
cast
all in
list
all-
for this, and I love that we actually have listings for the two girls that were with Valentine, Varushka and Nina. They had like all of 2-3 minutes on screen, and we have credits for them, which is nice.
This is fine. Give credit where credit is due.
Yes.
I will say this is the one where we do see Valentine die, so Robbie Coltrane will not return.
It's okay.
Unfortunately.
He played a very big part in this one, actually.
He did. He saved Bond, which is a
Indeed.
nice little surprise. I feel like this is definitely another one that I could rewatch. I feel so far, again, all of Brosnan's are ones that I would rewatch. Which isn't surprising. What is surprising is the fucking boring that they give. Jesus,
They
y'all.
gave this one a 51%.
Yeah,
Critics gave a
score is
51.
51%. Audience is 49. I'm gonna stick with the 80s.
I'll give an 80% on this one. Again, I still feel it's the weakest one, but it is still enjoyable.
It's very much, it feels like a by the book spy movie, kind of. Just because, oh yeah, we've seen these elements before. It's dealing with nuclear stuff. It's dealing with nuclear bombs. We have to stop everything from blowing up and dying. So we've seen it before. So I'm not surprised that a lot of people are kind of.
Would you
less
consider this
impressed
one a
by
Goldfinger
essentially-
plan or no?
Yeah, honestly,
It's not a badly done
because-
one, but
there's still a lot of steps to it that could go wrong.
and they did.
Yep, which is usually one of the best tales of a Goldfinger plan. Too much shit is going into it, and you can be foiled at any given time around any corner. So yeah, I feel like this one could definitely be considered a Goldfinger plan.
Still better done though.
That's not
It's not
fucking
hard.
to do. But overall, for the movies that we've seen, all 7 of them that we've briefly discussed, I would probably revisit some of Roger Moore's, especially some of his later ones, if nothing else, to put them on as background noise. Timothy Dalton, again, would be background noise. He's not bad. He was a good Bond. It's just
He was action,
his,
and it was generic.
yeah, which isn't a bad thing. I feel like you could say a lot of the action that we get in Bond movies, even in some of Pierce Brosnan's, are
It
kind
is
of generic.
except the way it depends on the actor for how they do them. Like, will they make them more interesting? Will they just be cut and paste fight scenes, things like that? At least in the case of Dalton's ones with the fight scenes, we didn't have cartoony sound effects with all the punches, like some of the early
my
Roger
God.
Moore did.
I'm glad they moved away from that, and I'm glad they are continuing to add music to these scenes.
That
'Cause
thing.
that one was another one. That one was just another really weird choice.
Because it was starting in the last 3 for Roger Moore that we got more sound and stuff.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, early Roger Moore, there were so many scenes with nothing in the background.
Yeah, we would hear the scraping of their shoes on ladders and things like that, just because there would be no background music, no effect sounds whenever someone threw a punch, like no grunts or anything like that, which is really weird from a modern lens, because everything has score, everything has some kind of special effects audio to it. It's so to hear nothing except what might essentially just be the raw footage of these movies is just kind of
It's off-putting.
It-
Like,
it-
it's not bad. It's just,
yeah,
it's uncanny valley-ish.
kind of, it takes you out of it a little bit because you're listening to just like the movie itself.
Like, you would be listening to what an actual fight would be in real life.
Mm-hmm. All right, for the next batch that we're planning on doing, hopefully this week, we are going to be finishing out Brosnan, I believe. 'Cause he only
Yeah,
had 4, right?
we're finishing his last one, which has Halle Berry as the Bond girl.
And I am very much looking forward to that.
And then we get into Craig.
Yeah. So we'll be doing Die Another Day, Casino Royale, the 06 version, which
The better version.
that's a low bar. And then Quantum of Solace, and we'll be finishing out the run.
We managed
hopefully
to
the
even it up
following
with. I'll be on call that week, so it'll be the week after.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it won't be the following week. It'll be next week is the week of the 8th. It'll be the last week of February that we'll be able to finish out the movies.
Mm-hmm. And then after that, we're probably actually going to continue with this little series of rating movies and how we think about them, things like that, with other series. Probably like the Star Wars movies, Indiana Jones.
Oh god, Star Wars and Indiana Jones is going to be very divisive.
It will be.
I'm here for it.
Also, we're not going to be able to do it in VCs every single night, but could do things with Lord of the Rings and stuff like that. But those movies are fucking long.
Lord of the Rings is one of those things that I feel like we could, for the most part, do almost off of memory. Or at least
I
can.
could not. Because I've actually never
This is
seen
not-
all of them.
Oh, honey.
I told you before with that one where we were watching them at my parents', and our copy of Two Towers was fucked up. Like, it would stop, and we could not go past a certain scene, even trying to fast forward.
Oh.
Yeah. So never finished it because of that.
I feel like for Lord of the Rings, that's going to have to be a special occasion because
That's
like
going to
you
have to be
said, those
Saturday things.
Yep. Because if we do the extended edition, which I will recommend, those are lengthy bitches.
Those will be a case of we're doing one movie at a time for these recordings.
That's fine.
They will be
There's
deep
enough-
dive ones.
That's that's fine. It's gonna be mostly me monologuing.
This is fine. I will have
We'll get
input,
there.
but
This is fine.
but
All
yeah,
sorts of lore drops.
all the lore drops. But appreciate you guys for sticking with us. I know it's been a couple of weeks since I had anything out, and I need to get back into recording, so I do apologize there. Just haven't had the energy or the time for it.
Time is a weird.
It really is. But as always with these, if you have seen these movies and want to put in your comments of what you think of them, how you would rate them, feel free to comment down below. I appreciate reading anything that comes in. If you are not subscribed to the channel and you like the content you see, you want to see more of things like this or some of the gaming I do, hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to see if I can maybe hit 100 by the end of the year. I'm at 35, I think I saw. So we're getting there.
Hell yeah.
And
also
yes.
check out Strict on Twitch. They stream whenever they are available, but it's also very fun, low vibes. We have fun, we chill, and
a lot of low energy
yeah,
stuff for me because I just like it where
yeah.
people can hang out, have a place to just chill. I'm not normally much
Yeah.
for high action. You'll sometimes see things where I'm playing more active games, but it doesn't happen that often. I do a lot of Pokemon or low energy stuff with Final Fantasy, Stardew Valley, things like that.
Yeah. And if you have any suggestions of movies that you'd like for us to watch, go ahead and put them in, suggest them, comment them. Let us know what you want us to do.
Absolutely, because if there's some things I've never seen before, that'll get very good for reactions and stuff. Which actually probably is a lot of things, because I don't watch a lot of movies. I'm bad about it.
Same.
Oh god, I just thought of something we could do, and that's going to take forever.
What?
Marvel.
Oh boy. We do need to get caught up on Marvel.
Because I've only seen up through phase 2.
I stopped somewhere around phase 4, I think.
But yeah.
We'll revisit that one, because
that'll be a thing eventually, maybe.
Eventually, maybe. Yeah, that.
But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that like button if you did, and we'll see you guys with the next stuff. Bye.
Bye.